the Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach J.B. Wallace. Brought to you by Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep of Prattville, Trustmark Bank, and Durbin Auto Parts.
Hello, Lion Nation. Welcome into Week 3 of the Prattville Lions Football Review. I'm Will Barrett, joined as always by our head coach, J.B. Wallace, looking back on last week's awesome win over the Oak Mountain Eagles, 35-28 in Herdmont Park. Coach, a wet night, but a fun night.
Yeah, wet night, man. You just never know when that surface is wet, and it was very slick Friday night. You know, our kids had to get adapted to it, but you just never know how those games are going to turn out. We kind of had a plan for some rain and things like that, and it kind of alters your game plan offensively for sure, defensively as well, because it may take a toll on the other team. But overall, our guys came in, fought hard, and we got the win, 35-28.
You came into an environment that was hostile and big and loud and noisy against a team that was on a roll. And, Coach, you just took it to them for 4 quarters.
We did, man. It started off good, man, with a deep ball to KJ Blue. I felt like our offense got onto a fast start, and then our defense came in and they answered the call well. And, of course, like we talked about last week, that quarterback of theirs, you know, he just kind of found a way to make stuff happen. And I think overall Coach Bullen and his staff, you know, they did a great job containing him throughout the night, not letting him get going the way he could have gotten going or how he's shown that he can do. I think that was a great job by our defensive staff and our players on that side of the ball. But, you know, that we just came together. Offensively, they had a rhythm going for the most part that night, and offensive line had a huge night with Tristan Blackman rushing for 26 carries, 176 yards. Wow. I mean, that was a huge night. But, you know, Tristan ran hard by that O-line. They blocked well also.
Not only Tristan, Coach, but you had Landon Smith picking up yards on big games, like you mentioned KJ. Brody has a big night. I mean, offense all over the field. And, you know, and again, 35 points on the board, Coach, and probably 17 or more left on the field.
Absolutely. And you mentioned those names like Landon. Landon is also, Landon and KJ Blue are also parts of that rushing game. You know, we got different ways to get those guys the ball, and Landon came in the game, ran the ball hard, ran it exceptionally well, so I'm proud of him. KJ, you know, he's catching balls for touchdowns. He's running the ball, rushing for touchdowns, stuff like that, man. He's just we're able to kind of spread out and do a whole lot of things with him. You know, we don't have to be one-dimensional with him. And Brody Bowman, huge night with Brody again. With 82 yards, I think he had 2 catches, 82 yards or something like that, man. But a huge night coming through in the clutch, making things happen. I think 6 different receivers touched the ball. So we're averaging between 6 and 7 every week. We have Jewel Bodyford, who got a chance to get a catch and hard-fought yardage after the catch.
Yeah.
All those guys. Christian Alexander, sophomore, made a huge catch. Tanner Eamon made a couple huge catches Friday night. So a lot of young faces, too, making plays as well, a lot of our veterans. So I'm proud of those guys there. Defensively, Jake McConnell leading the pack on the defensive line had a huge night. Callahan Minor, there's another one, had a huge night. You have Josh Williams and guys like him and Jamar Reed, man, all those guys, Jahar Scott, all those guys, man, played together as a unit and, you know, kind of corral that quarterback. That's not easy to do when their O-line is, you know, blocking extremely well. Sam Cook, I think 17 total tackles on the night. That's huge for him. I mean, he's going double digits every week. And going above and beyond. Tim Rawlinson playing well. I'm going to tell you, one of the guys that jumped out, Gavin Underwood.
Yeah.
Gavin Underwood come off the sideline, making plays on special teams. I'm talking about big hits on kickoffs and coming in on defense and making some stuff happen. But he's been very consistent throughout the last couple of weeks and playing extremely hard, man. I'm proud of him for being able to come in and have our defense, you know, perform.
I want to go back to a particular point in the game, Coach. I want you to walk us through it. Lions go up 20-7 late in the first half. Start the second half. Oak Mountain comes out. They grab momentum back. They go up 21-20. Kickoff snafu, and then they score 2 touchdowns inside of 4 minutes, and then we see ourselves down a point. Take us in that moment and how the team responded from that.
Well, first of all, I think the things that I knew that offensively we were not rattled. You know, and I knew that they were going to be able to come out and put a drive together. They felt confident in it. I felt confident in them. And so I knew that was going to happen. And I knew that they were trying to keep our defense off the field as well. Because I think our defense, to that point, they played extremely well also.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was about winning that third phase of the game, which is special teams. And I just wanted to make sure, you know, our guys could settle in and we can, you know, at that point break even on the special team so we can kind of, find an edge on it, but get our offense and or defense on the field to make something happen. So I never doubted that part of it, but, special teams, with the way that turf was and where that ball was bouncing, it was kind of weird. It was a little weird dynamic.
Well, 21-20, Lions go down 1 point, and then they come firing back, like you said, Coach. It didn't get rattled, and it ends up being a 35-21 gap, and they close it in the end to within a score. But, I mean, the game was in control after that point.
Yeah, our guys came out, man, performed, and they did what we asked them to do. Guys made plays when they needed to make plays. And not even the 50, 60-yard plays. I'm talking about the clutch plays to move the chains and stuff like that. We had guys stepping up, making those kind of plays, those kind of catches, those kind of runs, and Tristan did that. And Landon Smith came out, like I mentioned before, with a huge run that burst forth, moved the chains forward. So just about moving the sticks in a game like that and controlling the game, I think we did extremely well.
So on a wet night in Herdmont Park, the Lions come out with a 35-28 road victory in Region 3 over the Oak Mountain Eagles. Let's take a look at those highlights now.
Rigdon sends Blue in motion, and he rolls to that far side, wants to throw, steps and sets his feet. He's looking for Blue deep. He's got a man down there, and Blue pulls it in at the 40. Blue breaks a tackle at the 30. Blue with his feet at the 20, to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Prattville. Motion, and it's going to be fumbled in the backfield, picked back up by the running back, trying to get ahead. He'll lose yards back to the 16-yard line. Here's Odell again on a keeper and a pitch out. They got Odell in the backfield. Callahan Minor takes him down for a loss back at the 29-yard line. Blackman's going to get the carry at the middle, and Blackman's got room across the 40. Blackman 45, and dragging tacklers across the 50 into Oak Mountain territory and pulled down at the 44-yard line. First and 10 Lions from the Eagles' 24-yard line. Rigdon gives to Blackman again. Blackman cuts to the outside, over a man, pulls over, got the 20-yard line down to the 18-yard line. Here's Rigdon again, Blackman again on the carry. He's breaking tackle to the outside. He's to the 10. Blackman on his feet inside the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Here's Odell again on a pitch out to Myrick, and he is going to get ahead. Oh, he's hit at the 5 by Jake McConnell. A blow by Jake McConnell. Again, a man coming in motion for Odell. He pulls down a high snap and gives it up to Myrick, and he is stuffed at the 20-yard line again and driven back by that Prattville defensive front. Blue in motion. He gives it up to Blue around the left side. Blue's got room. First down for Blue and more. Blue to the 10. And out of bounds at the Prattville, along the Prattville boundary at the 9-yard line. First and goal. Rigdon gives to Blue, going to the right side this time. Blue to the 5, and Blue to the end zone, strolls in. Touchdown, Prattville. Here is Odell again. No shift this time, and the ball is loose. Ball's on the ground, and Prattville has picked up the fumble. Prattville's recovered it at the 27-yard line. 2nd and 4 now for the Eagles from their own 28. Here's a give to Myrick again, and he is stuffed. That is number 99, Elijah Brown. We go. Rigdon wants to throw, throwing it deep.
Brody.
Got Brody down there. Brody pulls it down to the 40. It's a foot race. Brody still on his feet at the 20. Brody Bowman all the way. Touchdown, Prattville. 78 yards. Blackman back there with him, flank to the right. It's a play action. Rigdon's got a man down there. It's Eamon. Eamon makes the catch at the 40. Stay on your feet, Tanner. He goes down to the 20-yard line to the 19. 1st and 10, Prattville. He's got it, wants to throw, throws it up deep. He's got a man down there. Can he make the catch? And he does at the 30. And down on his feet at the 25, down to the 25-yard line. Rigdon gives it up to Blackman.
Get out there.
Blackman got space, 15. Blackman 10. Blackman to the 5. To the pylon. Touchdown, Prattville. Tristan Blackman from... Receivers bunched in tight on the near side. Rigdon, play action, rolling to the far side. Has it complete out to Colin Seegers at the 20. Colin at the 15. Colin stiff arms a man at the 10 and drives ahead to the 9-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Prattville.
Oh, Gavin, get in there.
Gavin keeps it, and Gavin goes in for the score. Touchdown, Prattville. It's Seegers and a big lineman. Now Blue coming in motion to that far side as well. Gavin rolling to that side and throwing back across the middle, and it's caught. Tanner Eamon. The 2-point conversion is good. Myrick in the backfield. 3 receivers bunched in tight. And it's an inside-outside give to Ray. Ray trying to get to the outside. And he is pulled down by number 12, Chris Clary in the backfield. 3:20 clock on the move. Here's Odell again, wanting to throw, in some trouble. And we got a hand on him. We might be bringing him down. Callahan Minor with the sack back into the Oak Mountain 42-yard line. Odell wants to throw. Under some pressure again. This time he's going down again. They got him again at the 49-yard line. Odell drops back to pass. Looking downfield. He's under some pressure. He's being flushed out of the pocket. Throws it up for grabs. This ball's going to fall to the turf. It's no incomplete. 4th down and 1. Blackman gets the carry. Blackman gets his first down this time. Still on his feet, and he's down at the 36-yard line. Wow. Your final score, Prattville 35. Your Oak Mountain Eagles 28. Prattville wins.
Taking into overdrive.
Well, Coach, now it's time for our Week 3 Pepsi Player of the Game, and I have no idea who this could be.
Yeah, this week, Pepsi Player of the Game, it could have been a lot of different people. We had a lot of guys had a huge night. A lot of guys played extremely well, but this week's Pepsi Player of the Game is going to be Gavin Rigdon, 245 yards passing, had a rushing touchdown, held his composure extremely well to operate the offense under some pressured situations, and we end up getting the win, but Gavin Rigdon is the Player of the Week.
Gavin Rigdon, QB1, your Pepsi Player of the Game. Well, Coach, now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Inside the Lions Cage. And this week we're going in with one of the guys from the trenches this week. Yeah,
all right. So the guy that we're going in with this week is Brian Moody, O lineman, returning starter for us. Got an active personality. I mean, he's always smiling until it gets between the lines in his game time. He's not smiling so much anymore. So this should be interesting for today.
You know, offensive line gets a reputation for not having much personality, but we're going to reverse that with this, right?
Right. Yeah. You're going to see the personality coming from the O-line on this one. I mean, he's always even keel until it's time to play.
Well, let's go inside the Lions cage with our left tackle, Brian Moody. Well, Lion Nation, now it's time to go inside the Lions cage with a person that doesn't get a lot of credit, a group that doesn't get a lot of credit. We're talking about the offensive line today, and we are visiting now with left tackle Brian Moody. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, you guys in the trenches, they call them all kind of things. You've heard it all, like the heavy package, the jumbo guys, the meat package, the big guys. What's it like in the trenches every Friday night?
I mean, Coach, it's just nasty. You just go after every single play. I mean, receivers, they're fancy, they jump, one-hand catches. We're just hitting people, and that's our whole job from the start of the game to the end of it.
And you play left tackle, which means you got the blind side of the quarterback usually. That's a really important position. What's it like going out there every night knowing that that Gavin's depending on you to make sure his jersey stays clean?
I mean, Gavin's one of my best friends. When I go out there, it's not just protecting my quarterback, it's like protecting my family, you know. And so every time you get lined up, you know that you're not only protecting for just a position, you're protecting for a friend.
You mentioned Gavin, one of your best friends. He's been playing ball he's been playing with a power peel on his helmet since he was 7 years old. You the same way. Mm-hmm. And a lot of you guys on the team can say that. What's it like growing up with these guys all the way through, and now here we are, senior year, and finally one last ride? What's this been like?
I mean, it's wild. I mean, just like I remember 7th grade going into the locker room and seeing this whole team for the first time. And if you had asked me what we'd be doing right now, I wouldn't believe you. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so special to be with these guys every day, and it helps me get through the early mornings and the late afternoon practices to know that I'm with these dudes and we're doing something good this year.
Now, let's say somebody just put $1,000 in your pocket and say, oh, okay, I want you to take your boys out to dinner, anywhere you want to go. Where are you taking your boys?
Longhorn.
Okay.
Longhorn.
Okay.
Longhorn. I think so.
That's a classic staple here in Prattville.
Yes, sir. I mean, you get a good steak, baked potato, just hearty meal, you know.
Right, and that's what you guys thrive on, hearty meals, right?
Yes, I love them.
So if you had a go-to before each Friday night, I mean, of course, baked potato steak maybe in the picture here, but let's say pregame ritual. What do you want before every Friday?
I like a hamburger for every game. It's just like you get some meat, get some bread. I like maybe some rice on the side. French fries mess your stomach up, I think. and then just a blue Gatorade.
Blue. And why blue?
It's just the best flavor. I mean, just undoubtedly, there's nothing that can match it.
Okay. Now we are past the pregame meal. Now we're into pregame prep. What kind of rituals or superstitions does Brian Moody have?
Well, always got to go. I got to get everything taped up, make sure to do it. I always say a prayer before every game with all the guys. We usually go find somewhere secluded and go do it. And then we turn the lights off, turn the music up, and get ready to go.
I hear you. And if football did not exist, there's no such thing as football, what would you be doing with your free time?
That's a great question, Coach. I mean, I spend so much time here. I don't even know. Probably, I don't know. Maybe wrestling.
Wrestling?
I might have taken that. I wrestled a couple years ago, and that was pretty fun, but I decided to focus on this more. But yeah, probably something like that.
Okay. Well, Brian, this is your last ride in the Power P. I know it's hard to think about it now, but this is the last season. And after this, there'll be the next chapter of your life. So how do you want the Lion Nation to remember you?
I want them to remember me as the guy that, I came and gave everything I had every day, especially for these upcoming offensive linemen. I want them to be like, do what Moody did, do what he did. Because even when he messed up, he got right back at it. And I want to have a positive ring to my name when people say it in 2-3 years when I come up.
A lot of people say they don't want to play offensive line because, man, you just don't get a lot of credit. You don't get a lot of glory. I mean, I at least want to play defense. What do you say to those people coming up that's like, man, I don't know if I want to play offensive line when you know they got the talent?
I'm saying get over yourself and come to the right side of the ball and come protect your quarterback. I mean, we might not get all the fame and the glory, but we are the biggest and nastiest people on that field.
And without the O-line, nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing.
All right, Brian. This has been outstanding.
Yes,
now it's time for one last cherry on top, and that's the fight song.
Yes, sir.
And you've been listening to it for your whole life, so this shouldn't be a problem.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to clap you in, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you rip it for the world, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hooray for Prattville, hooray for Prattville. Someone's in the stand yelling, hooray for Prattville. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me who you're cheering for. Prattville, that's it.
Woo! Brian Moody. Well, Coach, I congratulate you right now, but I know that you won't accept it. 3-0 overall, 1-0 in the region now, but I know you look at it as 1-0, and the hits just keep coming.
It's 1-0. That's what it's all about, and we got to be 1-0 again throughout this whole thing, and keeping the guys focused on that. Yeah, we celebrate because they worked hard and they deserve to celebrate that moment for a minute. But man, we got to get back to work, and we got to get back to region play, and we got to be 1-0 again.
Tuscaloosa County comes in next week. Hasn't been able to get in the win column yet. They're desperate for a win. Backs against the wall. It's going to be a tough Friday night.
Yeah, don't let the record fool you with that team. Of course, I know you can see through it. One game they played was a rival game between them and Central, and that game can go either way. Then they had a very talented Biger come in and play, and there's athletes all over the field in that game. And then you have Thompson, who's clearly, just made a reputation for themselves. So they played 3 tough games, coming out this year, and the ball didn't bounce their way. So we got to definitely be prepared for them. I think they're very versatile defensively. From what I've seen on them, and I know they get hats to the ball, and they got good athletes, better than average athletes for sure. And offensively, I think they like power style football, and they will, RPO some things like that. So we got to be prepared and be able to take the quarterback and running back, a couple receivers out of the game, so they can't game play, be a part of the success. We got to be able to control those guys.
Well, Coach, good luck to you Friday. We're always rooting for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
For Coach J.B. Wallace, for the Millser behind the camera, I'm Will Barrett saying thank you for listening to the Prattville Lions Football Review. Good night, God bless, and go Lions.
The Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach J.B. Wallace. Brought to you by Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep of Prattville, Trustmark Bank, and Durbin Auto Parts.